Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered why birth into this family and country happened, why some particular traits are present? Could it be that your soul designed your entire life before birth? Here we explore the interesting concept of the life plan, a blueprint formed by the soul prior to entering an incarnation on this planet. Let us uncover the other side of what is behind our struggles, choices, and life journey. The paranormal world is rife with life plans. This notion falls under the categories of spiritual and metaphysical thoughts on pre-birth planning and the choices a soul makes before entering this material world. A life plan is some blueprint an individual's soul draws up before entering this material world and beginning its physical life. In this plan, the soul charts important life experiences, challenges, relationships, and, via a number of paths, their living assignments. In this blueprint, the soul outlines key life experiences, challenges, relationships, and even the different paths it may take in life. Souls decide before birth what lessons they will learn and what challenges they will experience in this life. The main purpose of the development of a life plan is the evolution of the soul. Each soul is given the opportunity to grow and learn by choosing different challenges, relationships and situations. According to this concept, the events in life are not random, but part of a larger plan for the soul's development and progress. Ultimately, every soul is guided to spiritual progress, even if the path it has chosen is difficult and arduous. We must understand that the earth is not our home. The other side is our home. We lived a happy life there before we came to earth, and when we leave here, we will return to the same life we had before. The reason for our short trips to earth is to gain experiences that will pave the difficult path of evolution and progress of our soul on its eternal journey. This learning is completely different from learning on the other side. So whenever we felt the need, we came here of our own free will and diligently learned what we were interested in. Just as we never act without first thinking about which college to attend, what courses to take, where to live, who to live with, and countless other details, because this prepares us to achieve what we want. So we never come to earth without preparing and planning beforehand. That's why we created our life plan before we came here. In fact, we have left nothing to chance, from the general things to the smallest moments. No one can imagine that some of the adversities, ugliness, and bitter events were carefully chosen by ourselves. We have designed our life plan to get accepted to an incredibly difficult college. So the plan must be full of hard work and difficult courses. If we aspired to a happy, carefree, flawless life, we would stay home. When we are with our chosen spirit guide, we design our life plan. At this point, we have no fear. We have a deep trust. We have become the most lovable part of ourselves, and unconditional love surrounds us all the time. We feel like there is nothing we can't do. There is nothing we do not want to achieve for our spiritual development. The more difficult your life is, the more difficult your life plan is. Your guiding spirit, who has lived on earth at least once and has not yet forgotten what life is, urges you to do something more serious. Our plan includes a goal that defines the object of our lives. It determines the most difficult obstacles in our path or the path we have chosen. It is our plan for how and when we return and determines our exit point. Then we set about the arduous task of choosing all the little details of our journey. For example, we choose our parents, siblings, and all the members of our family. We choose all of our physical features. From the color of our hair, skin, and eyes to our build, height and weight. We choose even the smallest changes in our weight to the unmistakable signs and characteristics of the place, time, and date of our birth. This means that we determine every detail of our horoscope. We choose our friends, lovers, spouses, children, colleagues, acquaintances, and even pets. We choose our enemies, however disguised they may be, and we choose the criminals that makes up the dark side. We choose the city, the neighborhood, and the house we will live in. We choose our preferences, our weaknesses, our humor, our abilities, and our vulnerabilities. We choose all the minor injuries and fatal illnesses we will suffer. We determine our hobbies, interests, passions, and tricks that no one but ourselves knows about. One of the most common mistakes made by those who first come into contact with the concept of a life plan is that they think that when we come to Earth we have no free will. In reality, we have countless choices here, even in the smallest details. For example, if your life plan says that you will catch a cold at the age of 4, it is up to you whether you rest in bed and get better or whether your cold develops into pneumonia. If your plan specifically calls for you to be invited to a friend's birthday party when you're 20, it's up to you whether you rudely ignore the invitation, decline it with a phone call or message, go to the party and be upset about it, or go to the party and enjoy it. When a dark entity shows up in your life, as per your plan, it's up to you whether you ignore it and go your own way, whether you engage with it and let it destroy you, or whether you engage with it and learn to keep your distance next time. The planned life is undoubtedly a life of choice, and it is proof that the measure of our lives is not what we encounter, but how we deal with what we encounter. The relationships we have in life, including family, friends, and colleagues, are part of this plan. Souls form groups in the spirit world before birth and agree to interact and teach each other lessons in the next life. Therefore, the important encounters and relationships in our lives are part of a predetermined spiritual agreement. It is possible to access and even change your life plan during your physical life. There are several ways in which you can access your life plan. First, meditation and spiritual focus. One of the most important ways to connect to your life plan is through meditation and spiritual focus. Through these activities, you can reach a higher level of consciousness and gain a deeper insight into your spiritual path. Meditation can help people listen to their inner voice and receive guidance to understand their life plan. Second, Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are a spiritual resource that contains all information about past and future lives and spiritual experiences. The Akashic Records contain information about an individual's life plan, and by accessing these records, a greater understanding of one's life path and plan can be gained. Methods such as reading the Akashic Records by people with psychic abilities is one of the suggested means of accessing this information. Third, dreams and visions. Sometimes people gain access to parts of their life plan through lucid dreams or spiritual insights. These dreams can serve as messages from spirit guides or signs of the life plan that help us better understand our path. Changes in the life plan depend on the level of spiritual awareness of the individual. The more spiritually advanced a person is, the better they can align themselves with their life plan and even make changes to it. Although the life plan is planned by the soul before birth as a general plan, we should not ignore the importance of free will during material life. The plan of life exists as a general path, but we are confronted with free choices in material life. In other words, the life plan is a general framework, but the details and the way we navigate this path depend on our choices. For example, we can change the course of life's challenges or the way we face them by making conscious choices. How is it possible to change the life plan? One way to make this change possible is to learn life lessons. When a person quickly learns the lessons assigned to them in the life plan, the challenges or situations that should be experienced to learn those lessons may change or appear differently. The next method is conscious decisions. We can change our path at any time by making conscious decisions. For example, if the path we have chosen is not leading us to the spiritual lessons we need, we can make new decisions and choices to take a different path that better suits our life plan. A life plan is a spiritual blueprint that the soul draws up before birth. It includes the selection of important challenges, relationships and experiences that the soul needs to grow and develop. Although some events are predetermined, the individual still has the freedom of choice. Ultimately, a life plan is part of a larger path for spiritual development and soul evolution. The life plan reminds us that nothing happens randomly in our lives. We have chosen our paths, challenges, and even those people who surround us for purposes of spiritual growth and soul evolution. If this video has inspired you, do give it a thumbs up, write your thoughts in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel for more understandings. Until next time, be conscious, be peaceful.